I am transitioning a bit in my own role, and as a larger practice, we have some big leadership transitions coming. And I've really tried to spend some time learning. And I was introduced to a book that's called Managing Transitions. It's a great book. It's an easy read. It's William and Susan Bridges wrote this book, but it's a nice way to think about transitions and how to change. And I think one thing I want to point out is that sometimes in our practices, when we want to make a change, there's a lead physician or a managing partner. We're like, you know what? We should do this because it's a good idea, or we need to do this because this is how we're getting our value based payments, or whatever is the motivator. And we say, we're going to do this, let's do it. And then we just want to hit the ground and run. And there's really a process to be successful with change because people don't want to change. And so they talk about this, just really resonates with me, like putting some structure around it, that the 4 Ps. So, purpose, you need to have a reason, right? There has to be purpose for making the change. You need to paint the picture for people. People need to be able to see in advance what that outcome is going to look like, what it's going to feel like for them. What is the picture? What are we going after? Let them know the plan. And then, even down to that almost individual level, like what is their part in the change? And if you keep those 4 Ps in mind, then think of that as like the overall recipe. But then there's some really important ingredients. Effective communication is critical. You have to have support mechanisms for people. So you plan that this is going to be hard and have a way to support them through it. And then very specifically know what you're doing to alleviate the fears and the concern, because those are the things that really hold people back, whether they're worried about losing control, whether they need to stay in their comfort zone, whether they just lack understanding about what's going on because they haven't received enough information. That information has to be like over and over again. You can't just, you know, tell people one time and expect it's going to happen. And then for a lot of people, when we make change, they have a perceived threat to either maybe their identity or their role in your practice, or just their status, what it might mean for their jobs. When you think about making change and the fact that those you're asking to change are thinking about a loss, or maybe it's triggering other feelings from prior losses in their lives, you always can think about, but what can I give back that is going to balance what's lost, right? I think there's definitely some good strategies to do it. And I agree with you. If we can improve care, we can improve experience. That's really a great starting point as far as the first P, the purpose of what we're doing.
Yeah, because I would say almost all pediatricians in clinical practice are mission driven. So if you can show them this isn't going to improve the life of the children they take care of, at least you got the foot in the door about talking about what the change needs to be done.